listeners are as important as our guests. Join in on the conversation. 504-341-8255, the New Orleans Talk Network. About your quality of life.
Let everyone know you listen to
the New Orleans
Why is your
Talk
green
Network.
background, Mike? Good morning and welcome to the New Orleans Talk Network. Wednesday's Bob's Variety Hour, and it's Wednesday, April the 11th. Hopefully you know what happens on the second Wednesday of the month. We're going to tell you in a minute. But I do need to tell you I did survive. The old man survived another birthday. Of course, it's much easier to survive nowadays because it's much milder, just lovely parties, a few parties and some wonderful dinners, stuff like that. So almost any age can accommodate that. Quite the difference. The earlier half of my life was very, very risky. Let's use that word. And who knows, one day we might have a story hour, true confessions, and we'll tell you all about the earlier Bob when he was actually the wrong Bob. Let's put it that way. Okay, enough about that. Anyway, for those, I got a lot of lovely felicitations yesterday, and it makes an old man really feel good. But we're back here. Thank goodness I don't drink anything like that. Like in the old days, see, I wouldn't be able to function here. But so we're great. As I mentioned, this is our second Wednesday. So what we do is always talk to the tarot. We have our lovely Miss Robyn Dennen going to be here in a second, coming in from San Diego as usual. Our raffle today, we're holding it over, so we'll talk just real briefly after the break. But we originally had, I think, 3 callers, which is our maximum, starting at 8:15 and 15-minute increments. One of those folks, we had a miscounting or something, we only have 2. But Robyn has promised to regale us with a fun story of our own personal experiences. So let's go ahead and welcome Robyn Dennen to the show. Good morning, Robyn. There she is, huh?
Hi.
Hi to you. So you're up and about. Remember, folks, Robyn is 2 hours behind us, so she's always going to be, she's still bright and perky, but again, a little slower than us because of that huge time given. We've been up already many, many hours, but this is really just basically not even rising time for her. She does this as a wonderful courtesy to me and a wonderful service to mankind and womankind. So anything, before we start your story and go in after break, anything else you want to tell the folks? Anything exciting?
Well, we were talking last time, and actually Mercury was going retrograde the day that we were talking. As you said, you were having a lot of electronic problems.
Correct.
And it's going to go direct on the 14th. When you mean direct, it's no longer. So Mercury is about communication.
Okay.
Communication should be getting easier. Technology should be getting
great.
Problems.
So the middle of this month, only a few days away, 4 or 5 days from now.
Yes.
Excellent. So you hear? I hope Mike's our technician's listening, because I know poor thing, he's the one saddled with trying to keep that thing going, and it can be a hazard, not a hazardous, but certainly a delicate balance between all these technologies, putting them together, getting the audio and the video synced and properly done for you all folks, so you can hopefully enjoy the show. But we're going to give him a little help come the 15th of the month. So I know he'll appreciate that. That's great. So thank you for both of us. You've lifted both of our spirits, and hopefully the audience appreciation. All right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to take our break a little earlier this morning and come back. Like I said, a very small raffle with regard to just basically how to register. And then we're going to get into a wonderful story. Okay, folks, let's go ahead. Hopefully Mike's ready to go ahead and give those illustrious commercials that keep us going. And as soon as that's back, come on back and we'll hear Miss Robyn's story.
What's up, readers and shakers? It's your girl, Rhonda M. Lawson, sending you a personal invite to the Literary Lounge. Tune in to Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions each Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for the best in literary conversation. Each week, a different author will join us to talk to their most important readers, you. You can also call in to ask your own questions. So don't forget, each Wednesday at 7 p.m., join us in the lounge for Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. See you there.
Hi, I'm Evangelist Melanie Pichon. Listen, I'd like to invite you to view our Forgiven Talk Show every Thursday from 11 a.m. Central Standard Time until 12 noon. We talk about issues, we talk about challenges, we talk about those things really that other folks don't want to talk about. Listen, if you want to talk about something, if you want to give us some suggested ideas, comment below and we'll do our best to get at you. Remember, every Thursday from 11 a.m. Central Standard Time until 12 noon, the Forgiven Talk Show.
We're back. Talk What You Know returns on Wednesday mornings at 8 a.m. We got a brand new co-host by the name of Bob B. And hey, that's me. Also, we got some new features. We're going to be giving away, have a weekly raffle of prizes. There are multiple ways for you to win, and there's a bevy of prizes. So we need you to come on back, join us on Wednesday mornings at 8 o'clock for Talk What You Know on the New Orleans Talk Network.
The New Orleans Talk Network.
Lady said, nobody does it better than the New Orleans Talk Network because we got audio and, more importantly, video. And you're here with us on Wednesday morning as part of the Talk What You Know series. Specifically, the hump day is always Bob's Variety Hour. And the second Tuesday of the month is what we call T4, Talk to the Tarot, with our lovely tarot reader and psychic, Robyn Dennen. Now, before we go back to her, we have to do our little raffle. As you know, we started this raffle at the beginning of our show last year, and we continue it. Unfortunately, we've had a string of bad luck with regard to people just aren't interested in claiming the smaller prizes. Obviously, still waiting to hear whether we're going to get something for Jazz Fest week that would really tickle your interest, because that one was one of our largest raffle registrations. So what we're doing, one more week. In fact, I'm going to answer, if you're looking on the screen, it's a replica sculpture, or whatever you want to call it, of a nautilus shell. This is something so beautiful. You ever see a real one? It's white with brown stripes, almost like a waffle. And so you see it's curled up in the orange. Now this is I don't know the media, but it's almost like concrete. That's what it feels like. I'm sure it's done. It's about the paste. And it's mounted on a metal rod and then supported on a lovely little rectangular pedestal. So it can be used, like I say, as a bookend if you have put some books against a wall of a shelf and then use this in one end. It can be just put on any kind of table as a decoration, anything you can think of. In fact, I was going to ask Robyn, I mean, I know y'all have candles. We've talked about some of the things. The shells of any of them in the sea, do they play any part in psychic reading or anything like that? Or that really belongs to the surf? Did she hear me? Maybe she didn't hear. Okay. Well, when she comes, go ahead.
I think we're delayed today.
Okay.
The show would be some kind. I would look it up. I'll look it up for you next time. It would be representative of something in dream. It would probably have an interpretation in the dream realm.
Okay. Well, if there is anything, I promise you this: when you come and see us next time, if nobody claims it this week, and there is some significance, we'll give it to you. You can put it as a little thank you present on your little table there. Okay.
Okay, sounds great.
Okay, folks. So remember, the only important thing about the raffle right now is how to if you haven't registered over a year, again, as long as you register once, it's good as long as the raffle goes. But if you haven't had a chance to raffle, there's two ways. You go on our website, there's a box, or more importantly, if you go and use my website, Michael will put up that address. That's Bob, the @ the letter RREVUE, and of course .com. We don't have it on there because we wanted the big letter. Bob at RReview. Make sure you spell it with 2 R's and spell it that way. .com. Give us 3 pieces of information: your full name, your email address, so we can contact you to tell you what you want and see if you want it. And thirdly, your zip code, so we know what state or what city you're calling from, registered from. But again, one-time registration, no phone calls, nothing like that. Okay, back to Robyn. Robyn, she's going to, like I say, give us a lovely little interesting story until our first caller, which should be coming right around 8:30. So if he or she, no, I think it's a she, but if they do call before, Mike knows to go ahead and interrupt us. Unless you're really right in the middle of the story, and put that caller on so we give them the most amount of attention. All right, Robyn, it's all yours. What can you tell us is interesting?
This is my mom is a psychic series, so when I'll write it on my Facebook page and on my web page. But so my daughter, I'm very close to my daughter, and periodically I will get something. And one night I was watching America Next Out Now, and I got this premonition, and I could see my daughter, and she was going to be in a picture, and I couldn't decide what it would be. Was it print or digital? I even thought maybe the brochure. So a couple days later, I was telling my daughter about this premonition I had, and she went into her work. And she was walking they were having a meeting. So as she was walking in, she goes, that's what my mom was talking, because they do, best employee of the month. And when she walked in, there she was on the wall, projected from a picture at the Christmas party. And it was like, I always was a psychic because we don't know what's going to happen. I just get premonitions about her.
Right.
And she's used to it. She's very used to me just telling her stuff and letting her know. Actually, we talked yesterday, and she's had a spirit. She had an experience with spirit last night, or the night before. And she was telling me about it, how she had this vision of the spirit was telling her what she needed to do in her life.
Wow.
Two men.
Oh.
So, and the spirit said none of them were the right ones.
So do you think, I mean, not to, I don't know how much further that part of the story is going, but my question is, just like you said, your mom had these faculties. So do you think your daughter has some as well, or do you think it's just from living with you and being perceptive or being on the lookout for things, like you say, knowing that you've told her in the past some things that, like this most recent example, that it's not a big shock to, oh my God, it's kind of commonplace, not every day, but certainly, a recognizable event that, hey, that probably will happen somehow. And she was attuned to say, well, there it is right there. So do you think, like I say, her situation, or just like the spirit dream or spirit contact, do you think she really probably has some of the faculties or some of the dimension that you have that you've just passed on? Or is it just from, like I say, osmosis from living with you all before, not so much nowadays as she's separate?
Absolutely, she has it. And I found out when she was about 6, I guess.
Okay.
I was going through some cancer treatment, and she came to me and said, Mom, what does it mean when you could see the spoke through cat? And I got a little bit more specific with her. I go, was the cat see-through? And she goes, yes. And I said, that's a spirit guide. And when I was going through cancer treatment, we had an alive cat. And on the bad days, my first day, the heaviest, I did 5 days on and off.
Wow.
And the first day of I realized a couple of weeks into it that on the first day of my chemo, our cat that was alive would sit above my head.
Wow.
And then one night, my boyfriend at the time, I said to him, I just saw a jaguar walk across the room. And he goes, that's weird because I just felt a jaguar on my chest.
Oh my
So while I
goodness.
was going through chemo and everything, these cats were all over the house. And I really believe that was part of the reason why I had such a good healing, was because of these cats. And cats are healers, and they will heal you. But that was the first time with my daughter that I realized that she had it.
That's fantastic. Well, just like you told us, your first was maybe like when you were 3 and you felt a presence in your room, and you would see a family, I've forgotten the actual number of folk, who would be there during the evening when you went to bed or when you woke up, etc. Did your daughter, though, before this situation, did she ever tell you about something that might have indicated that maybe she didn't know, but she was recognizing or developing or receiving those things even before that 6-year-old incident?
I don't know if that's, I don't remember.
Okay.
My life was pretty busy when she
Sure.
was
Well, maybe you can ask her and see, especially I know she must be familiar with that 6-year-old incident since it seems to be a well-known story in your family. But maybe you can ask her. By the way, Bob wants to know, just like, you had the earlier experience or recognition, did she of herself see anything? Whether she told anybody or not is not important. Whether she felt that she had something unusual about her, something earlier than that incident, okay?
Yeah, I will ask her. I think, like you said, because she never had any any doubts about the psychic as far as, she never had any prejudice against it.
Right. Well, I think that's because obviously her mother was one, and she's not gonna, it's got to be good if her mother does it. So even though not every mom is that fortunate, what I'm saying is she's got to be much more open to it than the ordinary child, who doesn't know anything about it. So I think that was probably a given, even though maybe just the opposite in today's bullying world, just the opposite. Maybe if she felt you were different, quote unquote, that was going to be a castigation of her some way among her peers. But anyway, I would since she was open and receptive, even if it was just because of you being the mom, it would be interesting if she could recall back any earlier incident, whether or not she put it together or whether or not she told anybody about it, to see, Now, she doesn't want to, I know she has wonderful jobs outside. I know she's not looking to change careers, but she doesn't want to, on her own, explore further those dimensions. Is that right? Or you don't know?
As a teenager, embarrassed because, Mom, I don't want anybody to know.
Right. Well, that's what I was projecting later on, being not necessarily bullied, but like you say, don't tell anybody because you'll be a weirdo.
Right. Exactly. And then I think now she's much more receptive. I would guess probably in another 10 years is when it will develop to the point that she might want to share it.
Okay.
I was in my 30s when I started doing it when I was 18, but when I was in my 30s, I started actually.
Okay. I didn't know there was that large difference since it started. Of course, started receiving it at 3, and I remember you saying it was early, but I didn't know there was a kind of like a chasm or a space between when you really, even not necessarily profession, but really started gung-ho with it, as opposed to just recognition of events or situations. Interesting. So maybe she will. Because I would be surprised, obviously, if your mom had some form of it, you certainly have it, that she also doesn't have some degree. I'm not saying it's going to be as talented as you, but some degree that she just hasn't nurtured because she's too focused on her regular business and social life. Yeah. But do ask.
Well,
go ahead.
Go ahead, sir.
No, I was just saying, but do, if you don't mind, if it's not an intrusion in your personal thing, do ask her, because I would be curious to see if she had some. Not that 6 is old, but I'm just saying, since you remember back to 3, and whether it's 3, 5, whatever, that might be her first cinch. It would be interesting to hear if she had anything else before that she just wasn't attuned to, or didn't feel it was worthwhile talking about, or mentioning. Yeah.
I think sometimes it's our consciousness of being conscious and realizing, oh, this is what's happening to me, or this is what I remember. So I will definitely check with her. I'm very transparent.
And if we don't, and if you think about it, if we don't talk in between, which I'm sure we will, and you don't pass it along, just before we start at heavy duty next month, just kind of mention it. Remember, Bob, you asked about this? Well, this is what my daughter had to say. But if not, anytime you either jot me a little message or whatever, because I'd be fascinated, because I really feel it's got to have been there too with her early on, but she just, for whatever reason, was not zeroing in on it or thinking it was worthwhile to actually bring it to just consider it a dream or, whatever, a nightmare, and hopefully not a nightmare, but some type of dream situation. All right, we still got about 5 minutes unless Mike's going to let us know when our 8:30 caller. Anything else we can interest the audience about for 5 or 6 minutes, or unless, like I said, they call earlier. Anything else we can tell them?
I just like to clarify, I was studying when I was 18 is actually when I started studying, and I was involved with a group where we learned about not only the tarot, but the Kabbalah, and the representative of the Jewish alphabet, and all of these being interconnected.
Okay. What I was thinking about, and I know you just told us a great story about how cats in general are known to be healing, but specifically that incident. But what's weird is our close friends are really, I hate to say this, dog lovers. So they don't have room for cat understanding or even a chance to recognize a cat. And it was interesting that, and I'm not going to mention the couple, but you know the individuals, that for they have 4 dogs now. The doctor, I'm giving a little bit away, rescues dogs. If he sees them out there, he takes them home, takes them to a vet, get them totally worked up, and if somebody wants to claim them, fine. If not, his wife and his family's always been stuck with him. He's gone through about 50, 60 dogs, and I've known him, Anyway, right now he's got a retinue of 4 dogs, 3 and varying in sizes. There's petite, there's middle, there's semi-large, and then the latest is monster size. We call him the Black Pony. It's a her, and we still attribute it to him because he's still young, but he looks like he's old, and he's aggressive with regard to, he chews everything, eats. So he's got Labrador, I'm sure, in him mixed. He's sloppy like a bull in a china cabinet, flops everywhere, knocks the other dogs are basically in fear because they're afraid of being swept into the garbage or stepped on. But anyway, I'm digressing. But when this gentleman's wife was starting to take sick, the dogs, unfortunately, years ago, the wife was a dog tolerator. She would pet it but she never, one was the cardinal rule, because her children were allergic to the dog hairs and all, and I think she was as well. The dogs never came past a certain point, meaning the hallway to the bedrooms or the personal side of the house. No dog was allowed there, okay? Well, as things start to mellow, the children are going, and the husband is, of course, like I say, the devotee, and he started sneaking the dogs more and more into the bedroom. And when the woman started taking sick, which I don't even think they knew at this point, the smallest of the dog, or the second in size, which is still small, would do exactly what you said. Now the others lay in different positions all over the bed, but the smallest or near smallest would lay almost like a halo on top of her head. And I just thought that was, until you just said about the cat, I just thought that was the weirdest thing I've ever heard. Now, they've never attributed it to any sign or anything like that, but I just thought, what a weird place for an animal to lay. I mean, I know under the covers, some of them go out, one of them goes under, doesn't want to be seen there by the feet, another one lays on the chest or on the side, but I had never heard of a situation where an animal would sit on top of you. Of course, it's probably hard to do when you're sitting erect, but in a bed where they would actually frame your head. And that's what I'm envisioning when you told me the cat story. And all along, I kind of never really kind of believed it because it just seemed incredible that an animal would do this. Why would they want to lay on someone's head? Anyway, I'm sorry I guess that was a boring story, but I just saw some type of connective because it was such an unusual description that you felt the cat on your head. Is that right? That's what you said?
Yeah, it was exactly what you were describing, like a halo over my head.
Right. So it's a similar description, a similar function, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm one of those, I don't have the animal gene either, but animals just love me. And I really attribute it to the fact that I'm psychic and that
I would certainly feel that would be a natural with you. Well, like I said, whether you reciprocate is another thing, but I would certainly think that they would be attracted to you because of those powers, because of that, yeah. But anyway,
I absolutely think the dog was comforting her.
Yeah, I do too now in retrospect. But then, either the diagnosis hadn't been developed or she wasn't suffering. Yeah, but I'm saying it was early on. Now, since he actually took 6, he doesn't even sleep in Sabre. Of course, there's no dogs allowed in there because of somewhat sterile condition. Anyway, that's not important. It was just weird. I just considered it weird when I would hear these stories that this dog, and I was weird that she would allow it because, she was never one to let the dogs, especially bad enough in the bedroom, but actually in the bed with her was just unheard of in her lifetime, and it was not something she relished. But so that's what made it even more weird that she would allow this. I mean, I would have threw it off. God knows an animal's not going to save me because I'm going to. Sorry, all you PETA people. Sorry, I'm sorry. I know. I'm just not a fan of. I can tolerate. It's like grandchildren, which I don't have anyway. But I can play with them and toy with them there. But after a while, push them aside. I don't want them near me. I don't want to take them home. Anyway, okay, Michael, how we doing? Any call? Haven't heard. Now I know, Paul. I know, Robyn, that you are aware of the 2 callers. We always try and get the individuals' names and information that you need. Who are you? And I know these are 2 that you developed. The one, and again, as we said, one of them was a development for both of us. It turned out to be the same person. This one who's supposedly calling first. What is her name?
Her name is Becky.
Becky?
Yes, and this is someone I know through my daughter's school when she was very little.
Oh,
and,
okay.
She was actually, she was the office lady. And I have a little fun story with that. One day my daughter was saying, the awful lady. I'm going, the awful lady?
Oh.
What do you mean, awful lady? And it took me a while to realize she was saying
office.
Yeah. She's probably 4 at the time.
Right, awful lady.
And when Facebook came up, I happened to contact her. We reestablished our relationship. But she's one of my favorite people. Okay,
so she's not a novice at this. This is something that you all have had discussions about or sessions about before.
Well, I read for her only once.
Oh,
and that's
okay.
it. We have most of our relationship is over Facebook, and we talk a lot about the old days, more of that, and what's currently going on too.
Now, are y'all still in the same area, or I know you're back in San Diego, or
she's in San Diego, and I'm in Sacramento.
Sacramento.
Yeah.
Right. As I'm saying, she's still in where you were originally.
Right.
And then okay. All right. Well, I'm hoping, Mike, any word? I'm not seeing anything. I'm hoping that.
Yeah, I'll double check with her. I told her to call in 5 minutes. Now it says, it says it's due to it says it's got equipment problems.
Who's having an equipment problem? I can't hear him. Mike's talking, so it's something, but I don't hear him.
I'm trying to check to make sure I gave her the right number. It's the right number.
Okay, if you're out there, 504-341-8255. Not that we want to bump Becky, but she is running a little late. So if we call it Guerrilla Tarot, if you're out there watching and you want to take your shot at getting in on the action, we will consider it right now. So again, the number 504-341-8255. Mike will answer the phone. You give him 2 pieces of information, your first name and your age, which he passes along secretly, not aloud, to the psychic so she can be ready when she starts preparing her cards. Unfortunately, Mike, I can't read. Mike, no. No. All right, what we're going to do, I think he's saying a break. So let's do that since we haven't. It'll give you a time. If you're interested in calling one last time, 504-341-8255 to either have a quick reading or ask Robyn any question. We're going to go ahead and take our second break, so we'll be ready to do everything right after. Okay, catch us on the other side, please. Okay.
Are you looking for a home to live stream your next event? Give us a call here at Bethesda Community Event Center, the only place on the Gulf Coast that can host and broadcast live your wedding reception, your baby shower, business seminar, and any other special event. Give us a call at 504-708-9454 for more details.
Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah, right now. Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business.
Our listeners are as important as our guests. Join in on the conversation. 504-341-8255, the New Orleans Talk Network.
Let everyone know you listen to
The New Orleans Talk Network.
We're back with Bob's Variety Hour. Talk to the tarot, and wouldn't that be always the case? As soon as you go to break, that we got our caller. So we're going to get right to it. Good morning, Becky. Is that right? This is Bob. Hello, Becky. Hello, Becky. Can you hear me, Becky? Robyn, let's see if she can hear you. I can't hear Mike. Oh, Lord. We got to get to the 15th. Get out of this. Huh? Hello? Hello? Robyn tells us after the 15th of the month we're not going to have these problems. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm hoping. Is Becky there? Okay, folks, still 504-341-8255. We're hoping we can get you on if you're local, especially. Hello? Becky?
Hi.
Ah, there we are. Hi, dear. How are you? Hello? Well, that was short-lived.
I can hear her, Bob.
Okay, you can?
Yes.
All right. Well, our problem is our audience can't hear her, I don't believe. So, well, okay. What we're going to do is, Becky, you're going to go ahead and talk directly to Robyn, and hopefully we can resolve why we can't hear you. Robyn will repeat your question if there's a question. If not, we'll hear Robyn telling you her reading. So you all go take it away from there. Go ahead, Rob.
Hi, Becky. Do you have a question for today? Michael, she's reverberating.
So do you have the question or no?
She has a question. I just can't hear it because she's reverberating so bad.
Well, why don't we go ask her to maybe text Michael the question. Why don't you go ahead and try? Can you do a reading without doing the question first?
Sure. I can start the reading.
Why don't we start the reading and let her ask, hopefully she's hearing us, to go ahead and text or tell Michael what the question is so he can portray it. But let's go ahead and start the reading.
Okay, so to start with is that she's got a man covering her, and this person's I think this is gonna be her husband.
Okay.
She's going to be having some challenges with her husband right now.
She
needs to be really patient. It's going to work itself out, but like any relationship, some days it's more challenging than others. This is going to be a period. She's also a man at work. I think she's going to have a being challenged cycle right now.
But can you see?
So not to get frustrated with them.
Right, but can you see forward to a positive resolution of that, or? I hate to ask.
Yes, I can see a positive resolution. I think that one of the things that she's going to do is, I know that she's going to be looking at changing her career a little bit.
Okay.
There's going to be some opportunities that come up for her. So some of the challenges she's having right now are going to resolve itself by something new, and it looks like career related coming into her life. And when that happens, the people that she's been dealing with are going to kind of drop off, or she won't be in the line of target anymore. It's temporary, very, very temporary. Probably 30 days, maybe at the most. So sometimes when you go through this difficult cycle, and this is one of, right now, this is what you're dealing with.
But you again, with this career change, or possible career change, you don't see a change of location, huh? Because that could be problematic for the relationship.
Right. No, it's not a change of location at all. She can stay in the job she's at, meaning that where she's working.
Good.
The thing that her responsibilities are going to change. They're going to it's not bad. Actually, it's a very good thing.
Well, good. That's what I say. I'm not trying to be the negative thing, but I just want to make sure she's got assurances that with this is going to be positive all the way around, not just, hey, I got a great promotion, but I'm moving to another part of the state or the city, and how that ties in with her existing. So it sounds like those things are all going to be resolved positively. It's in a relatively short period of time. You said, right? Two or three months.
Yes, it's very quick. And the cycle will, it's like sometimes, especially with the a personal relationship, someone will push you off, and it's kind of like, okay, and you feel those moments, and then you resolve it, and that's kind of what I see. There may be some challenges, and trying to keep your head straight while people are doing what they want to do, and you're going, oh, no, this is not what I want you to do.
Right.
And around the job, it's really, really positive. There's quite a few things that are going to come down. It's going to even out. And I know she's been going through time in the last few years where there was a lot of change, and this should get out. And there are going to be moves there. I should say different responsibilities coming up. I wouldn't be surprised if she promoted at some level, taking on. I want to say training. There's a training aspect to it, but not just a training. Some more higher level administrative type stuff.
Good. Well, I haven't seen or heard from Michael or you either with regard to whether she sent any question. So do you have anything more you can tell her on our chart? on our cards?
Let's see. Now, one of the things that I got last night when I was
Preparing.
reading for her, writing, because I write before I readings
Right.
on the show, is I see a house for her. Now, I don't see anything, but there's something about a house. There's also, I mean, like the location change, as I said. But I also feel like there's a house related to this, as well as there may be an inheritance around the house. So this may be something that she gets, not something she does directly, like go and find a house and buy it. Well, in a way she does, but there may be some kind of inheritance around a house. And sometimes a house that could be, you know, again, this is something structured. So it could be something around something, it could be about structured. You know, so I see it as a house. It could be, I'm trying to think of what else it could be. But I see something around like a building or a house that will come into her life that will be significant for her.
Okay. Well, what I want to say is before we go a little further, since it's getting close to our second caller's time, when our second caller comes in, we're going to have to, of course, interrupt the first call. But what I want her to do, and hopefully she will do this, is to communicate after the fact, either to you, her question, or through Michael, and then you can let us know maybe next time, or if we have time to set, you know, again, I don't know what, hopefully our second caller will go smoothly and she'll be on time. So we will have to break when the second caller calls in, and Mike's going to let us know that. Meanwhile, anything else you want to, I just wanted to get that in because we do want to move forward to someone that hopefully we can hear as well as see with regard to seeing and hearing your responses. So, and no disrespect to Becky, I think you're doing a good job of giving her reading. It's just, I feel bad that we can't get our question in. So I'm sure Robyn will entertain the question after the show and either fill us in later so she can contact you again or contact us through Michael and he'll send it forward to you. Anything else that you want to say about her while we're still waiting? Mike hopefully is going to tell us when the next caller comes.
I see money. There's some money, and I think that this is what's coming to it. It could even be an insurance claim. Now that I think about it,
Insurance claim. What has she done?
But there's definitely money coming to her, not necessarily through work. It's kind of more of an insurance or inheritance, something at that level, or even a legal, something legal that is dealing with those type of not necessarily income.
Now I'm hearing someone. Is that person on the line? Hello? Well, again, it was momentary. I didn't know if it was Becky or someone else. Okay. Michael, any word about whether someone else is on? Our new callers coming in yet? Got to do a better job of getting this communication going here. I can't hear you.
Okay.
Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning. Who's calling, please?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we do. Is this Becky? Hello? Did you hear at all?
No, I'll have you repeat the question. It will make it easier.
Hello? Do you hear us? Hello? Oh my goodness, Michael, what is this? This is frustrating.
I'm having.
Go ahead.
Somebody there?
Yes, we're here. Can you hear us? Oh my goodness. I don't know what the deal is, folks, but the Mercury in retrograde is still homing us big time.
We're gonna have to wait till 14th,
Yeah,
right?
I guess we shouldn't have had if I'd have known that, I guess we would have had to cancel this and do a different show today. Michael, any word? Please give us some word, Michael.
Yeah, the phone
Maybe
line
he could.
Wait, Robyn. What?
regular phone line went down, so I was trying to use my cell phone to do it and not going through like I should.
So do we have someone or no?
Yeah, they're both calling, and I'm trying to use my cell phone instead of using the normal phone line. The phone lines aren't working.
Okay, but can we hear anything? Us hear anything?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to.
Okay, you're still working with that.
Yeah, I'm trying to do this very quick. I thought we did remember the other time.
I know, but the show's ticking along. Okay, folks, our staff technician's telling us the regular phone lines. Am I supposed to do this?
Yeah. Okay.
And I can talk to her online,
Yeah.
or is it on a speakerphone?
She's on speaker.
Hello.
Morning.
Good morning. Who is this, please?
My name is Becky Cisneros.
Oh, Becky. You're still Becky. Okay, I'm sorry. We thought you might be our second caller since we missed most of your call. Now, Robyn can't hear this because we're working off cell phones as our backup. But we'll go ahead and entertain your question. I think is the other person?
Yeah, they're trying to call in too.
Okay. Real quickly, your question, and what we're going to do is let Robyn answer you offline. Okay, Becky?
Okay, perfect. The
What-
question was about my career choice. I'm contemplating some career choices.
Okay. Did you hear anything that Robyn said in her reading? Because it did address some of that in the beginning.
I did not.
Okay. Well, what we're going to do is two things. One, I'm going to pass the question along to her. She's going to answer you back. You can also try watching the rerun of this show by going to NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com or the app and click on within a half an hour the show will repeat, and then you can hear her entire reading, okay?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Sure, and we're sorry for the technology. Basically, Robyn, her question was on her career choices, and I know you addressed that in pretty good length in your reading. So what I'm asking you to do is get back in touch with her. I've also asked her to watch the immediate replay so she can hear and see you directly of what you addressed in your reading, okay?
Okay, perfect.
All right, Becky, thank you so much. We do apologize for technology, but you know, some things, these spirits aren't with us today, and you can blame, if you get a chance, curse Mercury in retrograde for us, all right? Okay, dear, take care. Bye-bye. Now, do I hang up here?
Bye-bye.
Are you good? And who's our second caller?
Now, that would be Debbie. I'm having her call you. She should call right now.
Well, I think he said she's on they're doing it on the cell phone for some reason. The regular phone line is not working. Now, she can't call. 3418255 is not working.
Right.
So he's taking it off cell phone. Is she still there? He's calling her back.
Okay, good. Okay. I just told her to call, so they may be hitting.
Sorry, folks, you got to put up with this, but that's, the way it is.
Mercury retrograde. This is how it is.
I don't know. I'm not sure on that. All right, let's see. Good morning. This is Bob. Who are we speaking to?
Hi, Bob. It's Debbie.
Hi, Debbie. How are you doing this morning?
Good, and you?
Good. We apologize for this problem, but our phone lines seem to be down for some reason. So we're using these cell phones, and what we're going to do is we always start off with, since Robyn won't hear you, since you're dealing with me on the cell phone, she always gives you the opportunity if you want to start off with a question, and then she does the reading, or like in the previous situation, we were having trouble before we came to this solution. She did the reading, and sure enough, the question came in at the end, which was really addressed in the reading. So do you have a question up front, and I'll forward it on to her, and I'll relay it if you can't hear the result.
No, it's okay. I'll just let it give me the reading.
Okay. So, Robyn, she wants to go ahead and skip the question, and you do the reading, okay?
Okay. I'm going to start with this is a total relationship type reading. I can see a separation. It probably was recent, less than a year. And I can see that there's some heartache around it. Which the good news is that I do see a new relationship coming into her life. It will be a little bit delayed, closer to 6 to 9 months. She will be getting a relationship. And when I talk about relationships, this could be any type of relationship, but this feels really romantic. But as far as the separation or the ending of a relationship, they may be more of a friendship. The romantic one, though, has to do with her doing the work. So if she's sitting at home, she's never going to meet anybody. So she's really got to get out there, and this is really going to be her responsibility.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, I don't understand what you're saying.
I know that. I know.
Talk about it, you're late.
Okay. What we'll do is I'm going to ask you, and I do apologize, we're going to let her continue because the audience and I can hear everything she's saying. So what we'll do is, rather than keep you on the line, is we're going to ask that you, after the show's over, wait about 10 or 15 minutes and go on to NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com or via the app, and you can watch the replay, which will give you her live reading, okay?
Okay, thank you.
So rather than keep you on the line, since you can't hear anything anyway, I'm going to sign off, and we're going to let her continue. And like I say, just give it about a half an hour, because it takes about 10 minutes after the show, before they upload the replay, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I'm sorry for the difficulty. Okay, go ahead, Rob. Go ahead, Robin.
The other part is that we were talking about money, and she is kind of coming through a completion cycle around money. So it is she should be getting new money, but it might take her 9 months or a year before there's a significant change. So it's like I said, most of it is about relationship in her reading. I also see that she's got one very difficult person, and it's a male in her life. A little bit of what she needs to be doing too is reflecting on her life and what's her next phase? What is it that she's trying to accomplish? What is it that's going to make her heart sing? And this is just going to be a period of exploration and reflection, and she should take advantage of it. And not get to the point where she's feeling down. She needs to really work on not feeling down and realize that something new can come into her life. And it's just a matter of it's going to happen the next year, though. It's going to happen quickly. Things will resolve themselves very quickly.
Anything else for her?
I think that with the separation of a relationship, there was a lot of heartache around it.
Oh.
And this, when I talk about separation of a relationship, this feels like it's not necessarily something romantic. It feels maybe like there could have been a past scene or a friend that has moved. And it feels more like either a family or friendship, not necessarily something romantic.
Well, that's not that that's better, but it is a little better than the heartache that would be from a romantic situation. I mean, you still got loss of some degree, but at the same time, that definitely will heal in a shorter period of time, I would think, than a romantic relationship. So that's the part there, is that hopefully that window of grief or consolace will be shorter because of the nature of the individual or the relationship that she was having with. So I think that's the only positive thing I think we can say about it, because it certainly is going to affect her in the short term. And anyway, so she can just has to bear with it. That's that old idea. And since it is hopefully going to be short-term duration, that she can get over that hump and then start being return as close to normalcy and hopefully better than normalcy. Anything else on her? Because we're going to go ahead and sign off in a little bit and apologize to the audience. But anything else about her?
Just that I think that's pretty much it. It's really her reading is really about relationships,
okay.
and again, this is just a very short, difficult time. It's not going to be continuous.
Why don't you do us this favor? One, and I appreciate your accommodation here. Wait a little while and contact both of these individuals directly, if at all possible, today. And see if because who knows if they've been able to check out the replay or whatever happens there. But if they got back on, they should be able to hear, if not hear and see, your total reading. But just to be sure, so we won't let them hanging on and feel the service is not worthwhile, would you contact them, verify that they heard and understood the replay, and if not, you will amplify on that and do whatever you can to try and make them feel comfortable that they were nice enough to accommodate us this morning. All right?
Yes, I always do that. I always try to check in with them.
I knew you would do that, but I just wanted the audience to feel that we don't throw these people out to the wolves like this. If there's something beyond our control like this, we do everything in our power, just like to back up with the phone, and it's still only halfway. But you will complete the cycle, and of course, you're the important element here with regard to what they're looking for. So you're the customer service person. You're the one who's going to give them the answers they're looking for. So I do appreciate you just checking back with them to see whether they got anything on the replay or not, and that way you can revisit with them, all right?
Okay, perfect.
Okay, now we're going to hold you to it next month. You better be coming, everything better be in storage, because I'm going to be furious. Okay.
It's been, change is hard sometimes.
Okay, all right. Well, we do thank you so much, and, hoping that we might see you in Jazz Fest. It's only, I think it's like 4 weeks away, something, maybe even less than that, the last week of April, so that's getting close. So talk to your children, because, again, we would love to see you sometime this year, all right?
Okay, great.
All right, Robyn, don't forget, for those who are watching, if you don't want to have anything to do with the show, but you want to deal with Robyn or speak to her, you can go to her website, Robyn Dennen. That's ROBYN, no space, DENNEN, RobynDennen.com. It'll give you all kind of description of her service, pictures of her, way to contact her, either by email or phone. And that way she can either set you up to do something here or indirectly help you out as well. She's a wonderful assistant. All right. Thanks again. Tell your family hello, and we'll see you next month.
Okay, great.
Bye-bye, dear. Take care. Okay, folks, next week is Chef's Chat International. Got a guy I'm talking to. I've forgotten where he's come from, but it's a long distance. So get ready for that. He's middle of the night last night, started sending me pictures, so we're going to be set up. Okay, until then, it's Bob B. signing off, and we'll see you next Wednesday, 8 o'clock Central Time. Take care. Have a good week.
Listeners are as important as our guests. Join in on the conversation. 504-341-8255.